Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Wildcat All Access. I'm Coach J. Doc Holliday, along with Ben Kuhn, and this young lady who is just doing an outstanding job on sideline reporting, McKenna Stoll. McKenna, I'm going to let you do the first question to Coach Kuhn. Let's talk about James Lawson's football game, because we're caught up now. We didn't miss last week's show. We're ready to go.
We're live.
And so we're live and in color, kind of, and we're going to talk about James Lawson, the big win, 12-3. Go for it.
James Lawson, Chaz Martin had a great game, and he's been getting a lot of recognition throughout Middle Tennessee, just awards for being an outstanding player. What kind of recognition does that do for not only the team, but Chaz himself?
I mean, it's been awesome just, for our program to have a player like him that has had all this success. My phone, stays blowing up with awards and stuff for Chaz, and people want to give him recognition. But, the biggest thing about Chaz is, one of the things I love about him is he's still humble. Like, I've been around a lot of kids who, when they get this kind of recognition, it kind of goes to their head and they don't play as well. But Chaz hasn't done that. And Chaz has done a great job pushing a lot of that recognition to his offensive line, to the other guys on offense that block for him. And so that's been cool. It's brought a lot of attention to us, but at the same time, you just got to keep getting better. And Chaz is doing that, and it's fun to watch.
Got another one? Maybe?
Most teams, they typically make the most improvement in the beginning of the season. So your first 4 games been very successful, executed. So what's the most improvement that you've seen from your team that you're liking and you want to continue growing on?
Well, the big one is I don't think we've played our best football yet. Like, we've seen flashes of it. Like, we've done great things on special teams. We've done great things on offense. And, last week we played phenomenal on defense. So, like, you've seen us play at best in certain phases of the game. But it's encouraging to see, like, we're getting closer. Every single week we're getting a little bit better at things. Especially with the James Lawson, it's a big team win because, offensively we kind of struggled in the start of that game to kind of get our feet underneath us, and our defense kept us in it. And then once offense kind of got dialed in, we took off in the second half and we played like we should. So that's encouraging to see. I don't feel like we've played our best football, but I think, our kids, they practice really hard during the week. And so hopefully we can just keep improving and get to that best football here soon.
So with James Lawson, 12-3, halftime it was 3-0. James Lawson, they kicked a 47-yard field goal. That kid can kick.
Yeah, he's a good kicker. Yeah, we knew once they crossed the 30 that he was in field goal range. He's legit. He's as advertised, and their long snapper and their holder is really good too. But winning at halftime, and the nice thing about it, our kids didn't panic. It wasn't like we got into halftime and they were, oh, woe is me, we're in trouble. They're just, all right, Coach, what are the adjustments? What do we need to do?
Well, they get that from the Coffee County game. That was 29-22. And
same thing, went down at the half and then came back and won it. Yep.
Same thing. So that's a good thing for future games coming up.
I've always heard it said, I don't think I've said it, but usually when you win a game like Coffee County or like a James Lawson, you're probably going to win another one like it because your kids have experience being in that situation. They've felt what it feels to go in at halftime behind and to have to make adjustments to win the game. So that's great for our football program that we've experienced that, and I hope that kind of adds to what we're going to do here in the next couple of weeks.
In your first half, let's just say it. Their offense and our offense are pretty much the same, and you do that where you. Basically, your whole line flip-flops on offense. Yep. They had that. They knew it was coming. You could tell it on the game film.
Yep.
But defensively, you guys just absolutely wore them out.
Yep.
That's just all it is.
Well, it starts with Coach Linville as our defensive coordinator. Coach Linville did an amazing job getting those guys ready. The nice thing is, for our defensive staff last week is, we've gone against ourselves since spring. So, they've seen the single wing every single day of practice. Now, there's some nuances, some different things that Lawson did that we don't do. But it was like a source of familiarity, I guess, between, what they've seen and what Lawson was doing. So that was big. And a lot of teams struggle to kind of stop that type of offense. But our defense was able to kind of put together a really good plan and hold Lawson in check for most of the night.
So we start the second half out. Go for it. That's a good question.
Second half starts out. You're 3-0, coming out of the locker room, probably had a great talk with your guys, refocusing, finding their motivation to come back at this game, and they can do it. They've done it before.
Right.
And Chaz Martin, here he comes with the ball.
Yeah. Well, the big one was, just trying to figure out, how they're playing us. Because the thing with the single wing offense that we've learned is, it forces the defense to make a decision, right? You gotta play one side differently than your weak side. And so once we kind of figured out what they were doing and had time to kind of regroup at halftime, we kind of knew what the adjustments we needed to make were. And so we kind of went through and coached Chaz up on exactly where we needed to be, got our offensive line dialed in, and then, Chaz just had a really big second half. He had those 2 huge runs, and then he had a lot of smaller ones in there too that really made it go.
And let's just talk a little bit about James Lawson's high school itself, their campus, their facility.
Awesome. Yeah.
Everything is right where it needs to be.
Yep.
They'll tell you right now they need more parking.
Yeah.
But the way they've got it set up, you just go down, you get off the bus, you're right at your locker room.
I told our coaches, I played D2 football in college, and it really felt like you were going to a small D2 stadium. The locker room's right there underneath the stadium steps. You get right off the bus, you go right in.
And it wasn't a wood wall.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
concrete.
Yeah, no, they
beautiful.
They built it well. It's a really cool facility. I'm glad our kids got to go there and experience it. They got an awesome track. I know Coach Boer was talking about there's probably going to be a lot of big track meets that are held there this year just because how nice that track is. But it was a cool place. It was a great place to get to go play. And, our fans traveled really well to the game too, so that was encouraging to see.
So that's James Lawson game. Let's take a break, and we'll talk about the next game coming up. You know who that is yet?
I think I've heard of this team before.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be back with the Cookeville High School, what we need to see or going to be seeing against the Cavaliers here on this coming Friday night. So with that, we'll take a break. You're watching Wildcat All Access. Be Creative Construction has been locally owned and operated in Middle Tennessee for over 15 years. They provide residential construction, remodels, swimming pools, additions, and outdoor living spaces. Providing services to many local families is what Be Creative Construction is all about. You can contact Britton Jones at 615-604-2132 for any of your contracting needs. Again, that's Be Creative Construction, 615-604-2132. Welcome back, Wildcat fans. Again, you're watching Wildcat All Access. I'm J. Doc Holliday with McKenna Stoll and our head football coach, Ben Kuhn, who presently is enjoying a 4-0 record, but that's in the past. And we got another game to go, one at a time, obviously. And this time it's Cookeville High School, the Cavaliers. And I imagine there has been some speculation, or at least I am, that you're talking about what happened last year. And it was the last game of the season. It was the big game, and I don't want to say it's a revenge factor, but there's obviously some talk in the locker room.
Right.
Here comes Cookeville. Yeah. We got something to talk about.
The biggest one for us is it's our first district game. And so, what's in the past was kind of last year's team. We didn't have a great showing against these guys. And it really doesn't matter who it is now at this point. Outside of one game, we're in the district from here on out. So every game is huge. Every game is a chance to earn that spot in the playoffs, which is what our senior class from day one has said is their goal, is to try to find a way into the playoffs. So to do that, we've got to get 2 district wins at least. And so that's really
we'll have to get 3.
Hey, we'll take 3, 4. We'll take as many as we can get.
Yeah, but Cookeville, obviously at this time they're struggling a little bit, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, you put on the film of them. They're it's not like they're playing just bad teams that can beat by bad teams. They played a really, really good schedule. If they would have played our schedule, they'd probably be sitting at 4-0 just like we are. So you put on the film of them, they're good. They got some really good offensive, defensive linemen.
Well, their quarterback returns, I believe.
So, yeah.
And he was really good last year.
And they've got some guys all over the place. It's just the opponents they played have been pretty tough, and they've kind of come up short on a few games. But, we told our kids yesterday that, they need to expect a dogfight. Cookeville's not going to come in here and just kind of lay over and let us do what we want. It's going to be a really well-coached football team. It's a talented football team. And honestly, it's probably the best opponent we've played so far.
Probably so.
It is.
McKenna, you got one?
So, Cookeville's your senior night, recognizing your seniors. So far, what have your seniors done that have made their, what you would say, mark on the 2025 Wildcat football season?
They did it from the first day. So, after the season ended last year, we always do, class meetings, meet with the upcoming seniors, upcoming juniors, sophomores. And we really just kind of, asked them, hey, what's your goals? What do we want to do? And so they kind of sat down and they said, well, Coach, this is what we want to achieve. And then we as coaches kind of went in and held them accountable to that and pushed them to that. And so, I know we're only 4 games into the season. This is the halfway point, but what our seniors have done, the leadership they've shown, it's been a lot of fun to be around. Honestly, one of my favorite years coaching so far, just dealing with these kids. I mean, they're fun to be around. They don't care who gets the credit. They're just a really, really good group. You know, you don't have things going on that I have to worry about as much with these guys. They kind of police themselves. And so that's been awesome. And, you know, there's 17 of them. It's not a huge senior class compared to other ones in this county, but when you get the 17 right kids, it makes my job a whole lot more fun. It makes our coaching staff's jobs fun. And obviously, so far, the results have spoken for themselves with these senior class.
So that's Cookeville, Friday night, 7 o'clock. Make sure you're letting your friends know. Chances are, with it being senior night, there's going to be a lot of people.
Yep.
A lot of crowd, bigger crowd than normal.
Yep.
And it's going to continue that, right?
Yep,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And hey, we got a big thing coming up on Thursday night too. We need to talk about that too.
That's what I'm going to. So,
Let's get it.
So Thursday night, I'm going to let Coach Coon explain it all, because that way everybody will know to do it right. Because if it's wrong, you say it.
So we're going to try to start a new tradition. We're going to see how it goes this week and go from there. Texas A&M does it, which is a school in the SEC, for those of you that don't know anything about college football. They call it the Midnight Yell, which is essentially they bring in their student section, they practice cheers, you know, they get, you know, just pumped, hyped, and all that kind of stuff. And they do it at midnight the night before games. We're not going to do it at midnight, because that's too much. My kids are asleep. I got to be at the house.
That's right.
So we're going to do it Thursday at 8 p.m. Okay, and so the way we're going to do it is the first 100 students who get there got free pizza for you. So we're going to feed you when you get there Thursday night at 8 p.m.
That include me?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
I'm not going to make any promises.
But
No, so Thursday night, 8 p.m., we're going to, you know, feed everybody when they come in. We're going to have band there, cheers going to be there, dance is going to be there. We're going to kind of go through our student section chants, right? Like, try to get it a little more organized. We'll probably throw out some scenarios like, hey, we just recovered a fumble. What's a chant we should be doing? Just to kind of practice and get our Blue Zoo dialed in. And then the big event, which I think everybody's excited about, is once we're done, should be around 8:45, 9 o'clock-ish. Every student that's in attendance is going to get a free ticket to get into the game on Friday night. So we're, you know, doing this, try to make, you know, a little more fun for our students here, get their support, and I think it'll just be a fun night. You know, nobody else really does anything like this. We're not really competing with Texas A&M so much. So we're going to do our midnight yell. We're calling it the Midnight Yell at 8 p.m. So make sure you're there. It should be 8:45 to 9 o'clock. Should be over. Food, free tickets to the game. Must be present to get the free ticket.
So if you're the first 100, you get in there, you get a slice of pizza.
Well, we got maybe two, maybe
more.
three. We're purchasing 50 pizzas for the event, so we've
Well,
got.
that's 10 pieces per.
There you go. There you go.
Depending on how you cut it.
Hopefully, we get more than that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But and then on your way out, get a ticket
There you go.
and bring it Friday night and get
There
in
you
free.
go. Save yourself $10.
I'm not. That'd be cool.
What a deal.
What a deal.
like
McKenna,
a-
you got
is it-
anything else?
I think that's it.
You cool? You want to talk about what SID's doing while we got a little moment in here about our fundraising and stuff?
Oh, yeah, Snap Brace. You know, you can donate to me if you really want to.
But it's on all of our social medias. Just to let everybody know, it's our annual fundraiser for our sports information department, and you know the camera that we're using now to transmit this to you guys. Somebody had to pay for it. The lights, this behind us. And so it's always an annual event that we do, and you can get information from any of the sports information department members, myself, or look on our Instagram, WCSN16, and
Wildcats 24/7.
right. So there we go.
Sounds good.
Good.
Support the program.
See you Friday night.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
So I guess we're supposed to do one more thing before we sign off. So
Absolutely.
with that, it's Wildcat All Access. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.